When it comes to losing weight and burning that stubborn body fat, there's one thing above everything else that you have to get right. But what's crazy is that most guys aren't even thinking about it. It's not your diet, it's not your workouts, and it's not your macros. It's your environment. Over the last 6 years, I've helped hundreds of men just like you to get in the best shape of their life. And in almost every case, what really made the difference wasn't the specific workouts or meal plan they followed, it was the step-by-step system that I used to help them clean up their environment. And that's exactly what I'm going to share with you in this video today. In step 1, I'll show you how your physical environment is triggering your cravings and holding you back from hitting the healthy habits consistently, and what we can do to fix it. In step 2, I'll explain how your social environment is silently shaping your behaviors, whether you realize it or not, and how you can curate your social circle to make sure the people around you are lifting you up rather than holding you back. And in step 3, I'll show you how your digital environment is programming your mind every single day without you even noticing, and how you can detox your digital world so that it works for you rather than against you. So turn off your notifications, full screen this video, and lock in, lads. Most men think that success with fat loss is all about having willpower and motivation. If I was just more disciplined, is what they say to themselves. But the truth is, your environment silently influences 90% of your choices, especially when you're not in the habit of making good ones. Think about it. Have you ever walked into the kitchen to get an innocent glass of water, but accidentally found yourself gagging on a chocolate bar without even knowing how it made its way into your mouth? Don't worry, you're not alone. We've all been there. The reality is you didn't decide to eat it. Your environment decided for you. Well, at least that's what my ex told me when I walked in on her and my best friend. But I digress. If your environment is working against you, every single decision, from what you eat to whether you work out to how you handle your stress, becomes a fight. But if your environment works for you, fat loss happens on autopilot. The fact is, your environment is either pushing you forward or quietly dragging you backwards. There's no middle ground. And here's the kicker. A lot of guys are quick to blame their genetics, Donald Trump, or their special snowflake circumstances for the fact that they're not where they want to be with their health and fitness. And sure, you might have a genetic tendency to gain weight, crave junk food, or struggle with consistency. But even though your genetics load the gun, your environment pulls the trigger. So what can we do about it? How do we take control of the situation and clean up our environment once and for all? Because I don't know about you, but fat loss on autopilot sounds pretty damn good to me. Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down now with the 3-step environment overhaul. Let's start with step 1, your physical environment. Because whether you realize it or not, your kitchen, your fridge, and even your workspace are either helping you lose fat or making sure you stay stuck. So here's how you flip this in your favor. Number 1, set up your fridge and your pantry so the first thing you see is high protein snacks, not leftover birthday cake. Think about it. If you have the food that triggers your cravings in the fridge, you've already lost the battle. But if the first thing you see is a protein snack or some Greek yogurt, guess what? That's what you'll grab. Out of sight, out of mind is a powerful framework. You need to place a physical barrier between you and the food that you know is holding you back. If you can't stop yourself from smashing an entire tub of Ben & Jerry's, don't have it in the freezer. Or if you're like me and turn into a possessed demon when the smell of freshly toasted bread enters your nostrils, then don't have bread in your house. I haven't even smelt it. I've just said it and now I'm salivating. But this is exactly the point that I'm making. Even if I wanted 10 slices of delicious, freshly toasted, hot bread coated in melted butter, which is now all I can think about, by the way, I can't have it because I know it triggers me. I know it would throw me off track. I know I wouldn't have the willpower to resist it. So you ain't finding it in my house. Or if it was, it sure wouldn't be eyeing me up on the countertop. Think about it. If one of your friends comes to you and says that they're an alcoholic, the first thing that you do is pour all their booze down the drain. We remove the temptation because we care about them. Well, you need to do the same with your food vices, because if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. And it means on those tough days when you're really craving something, you have to go through the added effort to go to the market to get it. And that effort is going to give your brain the time it needs to rationalize the fact that this is a bad idea. This might sound like basic stuff, but these tiny tweaks compound into habits over time. And there's a saying that I absolutely love. Show me your fridge and I'll show you your health. Because your fridge isn't just a reflection of what you eat. It's a reflection of your habits, your mindset, and whether your environment is working for you or against you. Number 2, if you work from home, make sure that you keep a water bottle on your desk instead of snacks. Most of the time, when you think you're hungry, you're actually just thirsty. But instead of drinking water, what do most guys do? They grab a handful of nuts, a bowl of cereal, or worst case, they order in from Uber Eats because they've convinced themselves that they're starving. Then an hour later, they're still hungry. Number 3, quick meals make fat loss 10 times easier. If you've got delicious, high-protein meals that can be ready in 10 minutes, you'll never reach for junk food because it's easier. Think about it. Have you ever ordered a full Domino's pizza and waited 45 minutes to arrive while telling yourself that meal prep and cooking is too much effort? Exactly. You don't have to be Gordon Bloody Ramsay. Just have some simple ingredients ready to go in the fridge. And if you're not sure what to make, I'll leave the link to my free recipe book underneath this video. Number 4, use smaller plates for your main meals. Sounds dumb, I know, but studies show that people eat less when they use smaller plates. Why? Because your brain still thinks you're getting a full plate of food. Unagi. By the way, if you don't get that reference, we can't be friends. And since most guys eat with their eyes first, this small tweak can stop you from overeating without even realizing it. Oh, we really are just dumb apes, aren't we? So here's the takeaway. You can't just rely on willpower to stop yourself from making bad decisions. Because when you're tired, stressed, or just bored, willpower is the first thing to go out the window. That's why you need to set up your environment to do the work for you. And the guys who get this right, they set themselves up to win before the battle even starts. But your home isn't the only place you need to fix. Because even if you clean up your fridge, what happens if all your mates want to do is send pints and eat burgers? If the lads around you aren't on board, your environment is still working against you. And that's exactly what we're tackling next in step 2. Whether you realize it or not, the people around you, your friends, your family, your colleagues, and even your partner are influencing your habits. It's like a silent contract you never signed. If your mates only want to meet up to drink beers, do drugs, cheat on their wives, get in fights, and eat takeaways, guess what? That becomes your default too. Because even if you start with the best of intentions, you'll eventually fall in line with the group. It's just how we're wired. But if you surround yourself by guys who train hard, eat well, hold each other accountable, and push themselves, that starts to feel normal too. And you naturally level up to match the group. Most guys don't have anyone in their corner who really gets it. In fact, the award for the most depressing statistic I've heard so far in 2025 goes to this. 15% of men in America have reported to having no close friendships, which is a 5-fold increase since 1990. That means if you and 6 other guys are watching this right now, which hopefully you are, statistically, one of you has no real mates. Brutal, right? So the best thing that you can do for your social environment is put yourself in a room, whether that's a physical room or an online community, with a group of guys who are on the same mission as you, have the same values as you, and want to better themselves just like I know you do because you're watching a video like this. Because when that happens, something clicks. You start to think, wow, that guy's in the same position as me. I'm not alone. We can do this together. They've actually studied this and the findings are crazy. If you hang around with high performers, your performance increases by 15%. But if you're surrounded by low performers, your performance can drop by up to 30%. So you really need to be actively curating your social circle. I know this is much easier said than done, but some people might have to be left behind. And trust me, even if it doesn't feel like it right now, you're actually doing them a favor in the long term. Because whether they know it or not, you're planting a seed for their own growth too. So that's step 2. But step 3 is the biggest trap of them all, and it's probably the thing that's holding you back the most, and that's your digital environment. There's a common saying that you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, but that saying actually comes from a Harvard study, and over the years it's been watered down and diluted. You see, the study never actually said that you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It said that you're the sum of your reference group. Now, back in the day, the two used to be one and the same because we didn't have relationships with people online, positive or negative. So our reference group was our neighbors, our friends, our family, and our colleagues. But now almost all of our relationships have some kind of online element, even the most intimate ones. And I'm not just talking about the relationships that you have with your friends and family. I'm talking about the relationships that you have with your favorite influencers or celebrities. You might not see these as relationships because they're mostly one-sided, but they are. And a lot of them are toxic. That, though, is your reference group. So every time you scroll on Instagram or check YouTube or stick on a podcast, you're shaping your beliefs. And if you're constantly consuming brain rot content and quick fix solutions like 7-day detoxes, magic supplements, or another burger review from John down the road, you'll start chasing shortcuts and frothing at the mouth. But if your feed is full of uplifting content from guys who are role models to their kids, good husbands to their wives, guys who are consistent with their training, with their eating, guys who are getting it done and making money, that's what your mind starts to see as normal. And that is a massive advantage. The problem is your feed isn't random. You don't choose what you see. The algorithm does. And guess what? It doesn't care about your goals. It only cares about what's keeping you doom scrolling. So if you've spent time watching junk content, arguing the comments, or clicking on random videos, the algorithm thinks, oh, he likes this, let's give him more of it. And that's exactly why you have to hack your own algorithm. The fix is simple. Start engaging more with the content that actually helps you. Follow high-value creators. Stop watching garbage. And if you see trash on your feed, aka OnlyFans girls, don't click it, don't like it, and don't comment on it. Your social media feed is like a mental fridge. If you fill it with garbage, you'll eat garbage. But if you fill it with high quality fuel, you'll start thinking and acting differently. And that brings me to another point. Dopamine addiction. Most guys don't even realize that social media is hijacking their brains. Short, fast-hitting content keeps you addicted. Doom scrolling gives you the illusion of being informed. Drama and controversy about what Kim Kardashian had for lunch makes you feel like you're engaged in something important. But in reality, it's all designed to keep you hooked. So here's what I want you to try. A 7-day detox challenge. For 1 week, mute, unfollow, or block anything that doesn't serve your goals. No fitness gimmicks, no trash celebrity drama, no political outrage. Instead, fill your feed with the right influences and watch how quickly your mindset shifts. And lastly, news consumption. Now listen, most guys think watching the news makes them more aware, but what does it actually do? It spikes your stress, it makes you reactive, and it makes you focus on problems that you can't control. And all of that is completely pointless because most of it is complete BS. Listen, I'm not saying to be clueless, but be as selective with your news as you are with your food. You wouldn't eat random junk food just because it's put in front of you, so don't do it with information either. To wrap this up, your digital environment is shaping you, whether you like it or not. The question is, are you choosing what shapes you, or is the algorithm choosing for you? Because if you don't actively design your digital world, it will be designed for you. And if you're not careful, you wake up one day wondering why you feel stuck. And the answer will be staring back at you from your screen. Listen, fixing your physical, social, and digital environment isn't an overnight job. But by watching this video, you've taken the most important step. Because now you should be starting to realize what's been holding you back until now. The right environment makes the right choice automatic. If you have to rely on willpower to fight your environment every day, you're already losing. And if your environment is fighting you, it's like rowing upstream, exhausting, frustrating, and eventually you'll give up. But if your environment is flowing with you, you barely have to think about it and progress feels effortless. The bottom line is that you have to design your environment to make success inevitable. Because when you're on your fitness journey, you don't want to focus on increasing the certainty that you'll succeed. You want to focus on reducing the probability that you're going to fail. And cleaning up your environment is a great way to do that. That could be cleaning out the snack cupboard, restocking your fridge, joining the right community, or curating your social media feed. One small tweak could be the difference between you falling off in 2 weeks and actually smashing your goals. So I've got a 5-minute mission for you today. Look around your house or at your social media and ask yourself, is this helping me or is it holding me back? Then fix one thing, just one. Your environment is always working. The only question is it working for you or against you? And once you've done that, share what you've changed in the comments so that we can all hold each other accountable. The guys who make a change today are the ones who will see the results, and the ones who put it off, they'll still be stuck this time next year. And if you've made it to the end of the video and you're serious about shredding your stubborn belly fat before summer and want me to build you a personalized plan and give you a proven system that's specifically designed to help busy guys over 35 to lose the fat for good and set up every part of your environments for success, then click the link under the video to find out exactly how my coaching program could help you. Until next time, cheers.